Welcome to Government House, one of the most historic buildings in Newfoundland and Labrador. Official residence of Newfoundland and Labrador's vice-regal couple. And inside this building, you will see many, many beautiful rooms, such as the ballroom, the drawing room, with all of its beautiful furniture, and of course the magnificent dining room with its glorious crystal flatware and beautiful china. And welcome everybody to the Valentine's episode of One Chef, One Critic. I'm Carl Wells, food critic and food journalist.
And I'm Chef Steve Watson of Central Dairies.
And it is the Valentine's edition of our program, and we want to welcome their honors, the Honorable John Crosbie, Lieutenant Governor of Newfoundland and Labrador, and Her Honor Mrs. Crosbie. Thank you very much for allowing us to sit with you in your dining room today. It's great to have you on the program.
Well, it's nice to see you, Carol, particularly on Valentine's Day.
That's right.
Normally Valentine's Day, I'm smooching with her and whatnot all day. So you're interrupting that.
You feel free to smooch away while we're here. I think it would be quite charming. Anyway, I just want to ask you, you've had this wonderful marriage, this tremendously successful marriage. How important is it to you now that you're doing this job of Lieutenant Governor to have, you know, the support of your spouse?
Well, that's being important. You know, that's important always. That doesn't depend on the job. And Jane has always been a big help to me, particularly in public life, you know, and because she's in many ways a better politician than I am, right? She's nicer, she's easier to get on with, she's pleasanter, has a better disposition. I'm a grumpy son of a gun. You know, in political terms, she was a great campaigner, right? If I couldn't go out on the hustings, she would go for me and go door to door, so she's been essential to me. I fell in love with her when she was 17, and it hasn't changed since. So it's great if you have a wife that you can get along with. Now, of course, we fight a lot, you know. She doesn't let me get away with anything, or vice versa. So it's not that we're lovey-dovey all the time, or we never have an argument, because we're having them quite frequently. Here in Government House with people around, we have to try to be a bit quieter, you know.
Yes.
But anyway, it's been a great relationship, and she's doing a wonderful job here as well.
And Steve, you know, Mrs. Crosbie's a pretty good hand in the kitchen too.
Indeed she is, and we're going to be taking her into the kitchen today. We're going to be making a beautiful duck à l'orange.
And speaking of kitchens, we're going to be going below stairs.
And we're going to be seeing the chef down there, and I can't wait to get in there, actually, to meet Jerome.
And Chef Jerome Smart, your chef here at Government House, has prepared some beautiful appetizers for us. Mrs. Crosbie has a lovely coquille Saint-Jacques, and His Honor has the traditional Newfoundland dish of cod tongues with scruncheons.
I can't resist.
Here you go.
Giving you a demonstration.
That's right. And Steve, what do we have?
We have a beautiful cold water shrimp with a wedge of lemon on top of a bed of greens and a nice cocktail sauce with it.
Okay, well, we're going to taste this, and while we're tasting, we'll head on into the kitchen for the main course. If you've been invited to a formal dinner and you're not sure which fork to use, it's always a safe bet to start from the outside fork and work your way in. Well, everybody, I can't tell you what a pleasure it is for Steve and I to welcome our guests to the kitchen today on One Chef, One Critic for this Valentine's Week special that we're doing. She and her husband have been together for many, many years in what I would call a real fairy tale romance. They're a wonderful couple, and she just happens to be Her Honor Jane Crosbie, the wife of the Lieutenant Governor of Newfoundland, the Honorable John Crosbie. Mrs. Crosbie, welcome. Welcome, Your Honor.
Thank you.
It's lovely to have you with us today. And Stephen, is going to do literally a royal dish for you today.
Sounds good to me.
I certainly am, Your Honour. And this particular dish, I'm going to make a duck l'orange. And back in '97, when we had the John Cabot here, Her Majesty the Queen ate this particular dish on 3 occasions of her 5-day stay here. So, and I'd love to make it for you today, especially for this Valentine's Day special. So maybe I should get started. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Good.
I love it.
What I've got to use is a beautiful Brome Lake duck, and this particular duck is from Quebec. And I'm going to stuff it. It's very, very simple because the flavour actually is within the fat itself, and the slow roasting process will really draw it through. So what I will do for a start, I'll just get an orange here, and I'm going to cut it into 4 or 5 pieces.
We're actually going to put you to work today, Your Honour. I hope that's okay with protocol and everything.
Oh, I think so. I don't think anyone's...
We usually have our guests do something for us in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll have any problem with that.
So, how long have you and His Honor been together?
Oh, well, I guess it was 1949 or something.
Really?
We're 56 years
Yeah.
married. We're married.
You're pretty young when you got together.
Yeah, we're 17.
Oh my gosh.
Both of us. He took me home from a party.
Oh.
And we're married at age 21.
Yeah.
First child at 22.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
They don't do that these days like that.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've had the pleasure of being in your company when you've been together, and it's very obvious to me that both of you are very, very devoted to one another. It's actually quite lovely to see you both together.
It's nice to
And
hear.
what's the secret of your successful marriage?
I don't know. He thinks his boss got me trained, and I think I got him trained.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put any money on it.
That's right.
As you can see now, I've got the oranges put inside the actual duck itself, and I'm just putting it into a roasting pan, and I've put it on a rack on this particular occasion, and I'm just going to season it with salt and pepper and nothing else. So where would I go with our salt?
And Mrs. Crosby, you've actually met the Queen, I take it.
Yes, just recently. I had met her here, too,
Okay.
on her visits, and the Duke. And, you know, because John was in the government.
Of course.
And he escorted Anne around. Sorry,
Okay,
go ahead,
now,
Matt.
okay. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a little bit of oil into both of our pans here, because then we'll get Carl doing a little bit of work as well.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
because what we're going to be serving with the duck itself as well, I'm going to be making the potatoes lyonnaise, which is very, very traditional. So I'm going to have Carl to put the onions into your pan over there to get them started.
Okay.
Love onions.
So you met the Queen at Buckingham Palace?
Yeah, this was as part of the appointment. of course.
Yes. Yeah, I
And
guess
she-
everybody has to meet her once they're appointed, you know, Lieutenant Governor.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay,
So,
Carl, going to put the potatoes in there now.
Okay,
as
these
well.
are sliced potatoes.
Slice it. What I did, I partially boiled them in some minted salted water, allowed them to cool, then I sliced them, and we're now going to add them to the onions, and we're going
So
to brown them up.
these are red potatoes? or
They are actually,
Okay.
yeah, the red
Yep.
potatoes, yeah.
Sliced PEI red potatoes.
There we
go. Oh, this looks delicious.
Yeah. Did you say you put mint and salt?
Yeah, I boiled them in the actual minted water. Just use fresh mint, put them into the water,
Never
because
heard
they're
of
a new potato as well. So, and then we'll just add the vegetables into our pan there, and I'll get you to stir a little bit of that
that's
one
what
as
I
well.
would do, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So did you actually have tea with the Queen? Did she offer you tea?
No. We just sat and chatted.
Oh, okay.
Just chatted
Yeah.
in this small room, but I never really got a good look around it. And when we went in, there were like 2 or 3 photographers snapping away.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Now, I was aware of them, but John wasn't. And then they disappeared very quickly. And we finally had to go looking for the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't get them till September.
And you just turn it up. That's good, Carl.
Yeah.
And they emailed them over. And,
Oh, I see, yeah.
And it was very expensive to get a decent copy. But we needed it because you have to get it for copyright in case you use it.
Yes.
And that was emailed in. It's just an email. I didn't see the difference of the first 3 that she sent, and then this one we paid so much for. So I don't know.
So while we've got them cooking there, I do have a duck that's already cooked. I'm just going to bring that out of the oven. If we just step back, just one little bit there.
yeah.
Oh my gosh,
And as we can see,
that looks beautiful.
nice.
Look
We'll
how
just close the oven
golden-
there, Carl, please.
Golden
Oh, my.
brown. And
Yeah.
and that's sizzling.
Yeah, I tell you what I would normally do with this. I would allow the duck. This duck could be cooked the day beforehand, so I would allow it to cool, and then the following day I would cut it in half. This is still quite warm, and take all the bones out and everything else. And what we've got there, Carl, maybe if you just stir it, and that's what we make our sauce with. We've got some oranges in there, a little bit of orange juice, and that's what we've made our stock with for the duck itself. And then what we'll do at the very last minute is add a touch of Grand Marnier to really draw those orange flavours through it. So, and what I would do with the duck as well, I would cut them into portions. To take the leg and the breast off, again with no bones, and then would really crisp it up. So again, through the wonder of science TV as well, I'll take the pre-portioned cooked one as and as you can see, it's going to be all nice and crispy.
I think it's also worth pointing out to folks, Steve, that when you make a stock, the more bones, the better.
Oh, absolutely,
because that's
Carl.
where all the flavor
is.
Yeah.
But not only we've got the flavour from the fat itself, but we are getting it from the bones as well. But it's all natural, and as you can see, this all nice and crisp.
And usually meat cooked on the bone tastes a lot better.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
of the flavour that comes from the bone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nearer the bone, sweeter the meat.
That's right. Yeah.
And this normally I would cook this at around about 375 for about 3.5 hours, and again allowing it to chill. And it's really, as I say, nice and golden brown and crispy.
So, Mrs. Crosby, when you and His Honor have a nice, intimate, romantic dinner together, what do you like to have when you're? It's just the two of you.
And he doesn't cook though, does he?
But he'll force them to barbecue when we're in the country, and he'll do a filet mignon or steak or chop. He likes chops, doing chops. On the barbecue. He's not a great
But what would you do for a romantic dinner? Now, just the two of you. If we were celebrating, if you were celebrating your anniversary or something like that.
He'd probably take me out to dinner.
Oh,
yes.
That's a good man. He's a very smart husband.
Yeah.
And he would make the reservation, of course.
Yes, he would. He'd do that.
Yeah.
Really, that's what he would do.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we like plain English cooking.
Yeah.
He does in particular. He's a meat and potato
man. Yeah.
And
you obviously do a lot of entertaining at Government House. Who comes up with the menus, and how do you decide what to serve when you have a large dinner party, for example? If you have people in from St. John Ambulance for dinner or something, how do you decide what to serve these people?
Oh, well, I'll go down and I'll talk to the chef, Jerome, and we'll come up with something or other, We have to be careful, because they always ask these days, do you have an allergy?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's becoming more prevalent now, allergies, of course,
very
isn't it?
much
Yes.
so. People have their very strong likes and dislikes, and they don't hold back telling you.
And it's not just peanut allergies anymore.
That's right. Yeah. No, once you were glad to get something put before you, but not now.
As long as you didn't have to cook it yourself.
Yes, exactly, but not so now.
I'll get you to season that, Carl, now.
So does Chef Smart cook for yourself and His Honor when it's just the two of you together, or do you do any cooking?
No, I don't have any facilities to cook.
No.
Today we had onion soup.
Okay.
Yeah, and French onion soup, that is. And that's a favourite of John's, so that was grand. He said that he could eat that every day.
So does he ask you on a daily basis, Chef Smart, what do you want for dinner tonight?
I can do it, but I'm not that good at that. He just said, I'll let him surprise me.
Okay, yeah. But you're happy enough with his cooking that he's
I am.
Yep. That's great.
But I was brought up to eat everything,
I was too, Make sure you clean your plate.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not polite to,
It's funny, isn't it? And then the various wars. Well, with the Second World War, I ate for all the starving children in Europe.
Yes. Well, I tell you what, I'm just going to excuse myself because I'm going to go down to our cellar and select a bottle of wine to go with this beautiful duck à l'orange. Okay?
Sounds
so Steve will keep you company.
Okay.
So, well, while he's gone down there, Your Honour, we will carry on finishing this off. But you say John, he likes the meat and potatoes.
Yes,
and he likes traditional English food as well. Does he like the roast beef?
Yes,
and
all
like that? A nice roast. And
Yorkshire pudding and,
the good standards.
Yeah.
These guys don't even look like me and Jeremy.
Hi.
Hello, Carl.
Andrew?
Just chatting with your friends.
Oh, right. Yeah. Jeremy and Andrew.
I see the resemblance to Jeremy, but I don't see how you think this man looks like me.
Oh, don't take it personally. I mean, it's just a bit of fun we're having. Listen, we have the Lieutenant Governor's wife upstairs, Her Honor Mrs. Jane Crosby. Steve has done a royal dish for her. It's duck à l'orange. It's beautiful. Oh, it's just
one of my personal favorites, Carl.
So we need to come up with a really nice wine because she's such a lovely lady, and it's Valentine's, and you know.
Okay, well, your dish is very rich and very fatty.
Yeah.
For this purpose, we're going to need a wine very high in acidity.
Yeah.
To cut through the fat. I have one white offering that she may enjoy. This is from Germany. Mm-hmm. It is a Cabernet by Lorch. Difficult to find the actual grapes in this. Primarily Riesling, I would assume, with a little Müller-Thurgau, maybe some Sylvaner.
So white wines are generally more acidic than reds. Is that correct?
Yes, definitely. But now there are some reds known for their high acidity. Pinot Noir, Gamay, Dornfelder, Barbera. These are some red grapes known for the high acidity.
That is very good information.
Now, when we talk about acidity, acidity is a mouth-watering effect on the sides of your tongue. It makes the wine very food-friendly. Basically, it's a seesaw effect. You eat the food, it goes over your palate, you take the wine, you have a sip, and it cleanses your palate. You have the food, you have the wine. Seesaw effect. So this wine, high in acidity, some nice little sweetness there to match the sweetness in the dish. Mm-hmm. Another wine that she might enjoy, and this actually comes to us from the Loire Valley, where in France, it was the Loire where this dish actually comes from, they tell us. So this is a Cabernet Franc. It's Chinon in the Touraine region. And this you're supposed to drink 2 to 3 years after it's made. Perfect timing for us. This is a 2006 vintage. This wine can also contain up to maybe 10% Cabernet Sauvignon. It's light, delicate, like a Pinot Noir with a nice herbal complexity. But I've saved the best for last. And
Have you really?
I've actually asked Jeremy and Andrew to hold on to the for us.
Yeah.
This is a classic match for Duck à l'Orange. It's a Pinot Noir from Burgundy. One of the most underrated regions is the Mont de Lys. And this has a vivid color, very expressive fruit. I think you'll really enjoy a long, silky finish. And this has a huge acidity, great to match the oranges in your dish.
I'm going to take this one.
That's what I would have too.
I've got to. Yeah. This is the perfect one.
Give Ms. Crosby my best.
I will definitely do that. Here you go.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Definitely not. Doesn't have the facial hair.
Well, Your Honour, it's not only a meal fit for yourselves, but we've also got a meal fit for the Queen as well.
Yes, and I see her picture is here. I just noticed that.
Wearing a beautiful Sunday bonnet, I see.
Yes. So
excellent.
we're having a royal feast.
Well,
here.
my gosh, what a beautiful looking meal.
Thank you,
Doesn't
Carl.
this look amazing?
Outstanding, yes.
Yes, so we've got a nice red wine here to go with this beautiful Duck à l'Orange. I'll give you that one, Your Honour.
Okay.
And okay, this one's for you, Stephen. Protocol, we have to serve our guest first.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I'd
Yes.
be very concerned
You
about
know,
protocol.
oh, yeah.
Yes, that's right. So why don't you do us the honor of having a taste, and you can give us your critique of this dish.
I'm dying to. I mean, this duck is a favourite of mine.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful,
Yes.
wonderful.
Yes.
Now, and get into that crispy part, eh?
Yes, absolutely.
It really is a beautiful looking dish, Stephen. I must say, you've outdone yourself.
That orange sauce, and actually we've got some blood oranges there, which was very nice as well.
The other thing, you have to be, when you're doing duck, you have to be careful that the product you're working with is top quality to begin with. The better the product, the better the result you're going to get. Can't do better than that.
Yeah.
So how many dinners would you say you do at Government House in the run of 3 or 4 months? Do you do one a month or?
No. When the honorary degrees are given out, there's the big formal dinner there, and we haven't done that many big formal dinners. That's funny. My mind is blank right now.
I guess you do an awful lot of cocktail type
Very
events.
much so.
Yeah.
Lots of people go through
Wine, canapes, that
there.
sort of thing.
Exactly. That went on this morning. Went to 86 people yesterday.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So you've done some big ones.
Now, there is, we should tell our viewers, you have a special recipe that we're going to get from you and put on our website. It's for chocolate pudding with sunshine sauce that is his Honor's favorite from when he was a boy, that his mom did for him. And you can also get Steve's recipe on our website, folks, at centraldairies.com. Click on the One Chef, One Critic page and get all that info. Thank you, Your Honor, for being with us on One Chef, One Critic, and we'll see you in a sec for dessert.
Cheers.
Real pleasure.
For more of Chef Steve Watson's recipes, our recommended wine lists, and guest recipes, log on to centraldairies.com. Have a recipe that you want to share with us? Send it along to onechef.onecritic@rci.rogers.com. Be sure to attach your name, address, and contact number, and you and a guest could be eligible to win a dinner for two at one of our city's finest restaurants. Let us know what you think of the show at 757-9600.
No matter what, keep your cooked food and your raw food separate to avoid cross-contamination.
Steve, Chef Jerome has really brought us some lovely looking desserts. What do you have?
I have a wonderful creme caramel, Carl, and with some beautiful fresh fruit. And Carl, what is that?
Yeah, and well, Mrs. Crosby's enjoying the creme caramel as well, and Mr. Crosby and I have lovely steamed pudding here with a rum sauce.
Ooh, fantastic, fantastic.
He called it Figgy Duff.
Figgy Duff. Okay, it's a Figgy Duff, right. What's your verdict on the Figgy Duff, Mr. Crosby?
It has potential.
It has potential. A little bit more rum, maybe. Yeah.
Okay,
No,
well,
that's great.
Actually, while we're enjoying our desserts, we're going to head down to the kitchen and meet up with Chef Jerome Smart.
Yeah, let's go down there then, Carl.
Well, Steve, I'm really looking forward to seeing this kitchen. Wow.
Some size, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's
It's
quite
good to be back down here again, that's for sure.
And here's Chef Jerome Smart.
Hi, Carl.
Nice to meet you.
Jerome, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Steve.
Yeah.
Now, Jerome, you've made some fantastic food for us today. That creme caramel and the Figgy Duff, amazing. Really delicious. You've got some heart-shaped molds here. What are you doing something for Valentine's Day for their honors?
I've been thinking maybe I'll make some nice little chocolate cakes, like individual heart-shaped chocolate cakes for the Valentine's for this evening.
And a nice little intimate supper, probably.
Yes, yeah.
Well, that's fantastic, Jerome. Now, you've been here for, what, 13 years? A little bit of a transition from the hotels and restaurants
Yes.
to come here, and you're now preparing for two people on a daily basis. I guess there's some other parties as well. And it's been a while since I've been down here, but I see you've got a lot of new equipment here. What have you got in the kitchen?
Oh, we're quite lucky, Steve. I got a nice flat top range. We have a gas range and oven. Beautiful convection oven. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I haven't seen that before.
And a set of a double baker's oven. A couple of Hobart machines.
That's excellent. And I guess for some of the parties that you're doing, I guess the biggest one that you do, of course, is the garden party. And what kind of things would you prepare for that?
Garden party, it was generally just cookies, tarts, sandwiches. We also have lemonade and tea.
And for how many people?
Usually we do maybe 700-800 people.
Oh my goodness.
So it's a busy day.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, what's it like getting used to a new Lieutenant Governor and his spouse when they take office? And this is your fourth Lieutenant Governor. It must be a bit of a challenge trying to gauge, what their likes and dislikes are.
Well, yeah, there is a bit of a learning curve. I usually figure after about a year and a half, you settle into everybody's likes and dislikes. And every 5 years is you have to relearn different people. Everybody likes something different.
Do you ever get scared that, oh my God, they're gonna, maybe they won't like my food and they'll fire me or something?
No, luckily enough, I don't worry about those types of things.
Now, you have to prepare a lot of food sometimes for cocktail parties and formal dinners. How do you get all that food upstairs?
We have a dumbwaiter here, and he's an old-fashioned dumbwaiter. He just goes on a little pulley system. We lift him up by the rope.
What's his name?
Well, you know what? We don't name dumbwaiters. So what can I say?
Well, listen, Jerome, it's been great seeing you. Thank you very much, and we're going to get up and say goodbye to their honors.
Thanks a lot, Jerome.
Take care.
Cheers.
Well, Steve, that was indeed Figgy Duff, and it was absolutely sensational.
Fantastic. In the kitchen down there, I wouldn't mind working in there myself.
And your honors, you've done a good job of cleaning your plates as well, I see. Thank you very much for allowing us to be with you here in this wonderful dining room today. It was a real treat for us, especially on this Valentine's Day. And I know, being Valentine's Day, you're going to want to probably do something special this evening. So, well,
I might even smile at her this evening.
that would be great. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Stephen. That's it for this edition of
One Chef,
One Critic.
On the way to a man's heart.
I got her trained to cook it, what I liked and so on. And just when I got her trained, right, after 30 years, or 40, was it?
What?
Took me that long to train you. Then we got moved down here, so.